So I welcome all of you to this information meeting about our Zodiac Festival, which we have been preparing for more than half a year. The idea came when I was in England on a tour with Andrew Linnell and Ari Torres on a lecture tour, and then I met people, and suddenly we can meet on site what is needed, what is really needed, or what could reach people. Let's meet in Switzerland. And then Marie, you see her here, Matthias, you see her, Anastasia, Anchi, you can see her from Sri Lanka, Monica, you can see there. We all went into the Swiss mountains. We're working for 2 weeks to design a program, and afterwards we started to further develop it. And we are extremely happy to present it now, starting next week with Matthias, and then all the other courses will follow in the course of the week. The Christiane is in South Africa, and there is electricity switched on and off at the moment. So that's maybe the reason why she cannot be here. And I will now present the course we prepared together. We called our internal name is the Jumping Legs course. And what's behind it is that when Juraf Steiner gave the Eurythmy therapy course, he started for 1-2 lectures to introduce general movements and the vowel movements. And then when he started to bring the consonants, he suddenly said, and now make a jump. Yeah, or now do this with your leg. In addition, with your arm movement. And I can just show you briefly what this could look like. That, for example, when you do the ha in Eurythmy, is just that you just have your arms in front of your body and you just, wow, you enjoy spreading them out. It's letting go. Just breathe out, enjoy, and let the backpack just sink down to earth and you feel good. And then he said, but when you want to do this to help your stomach, then combine it with a jump. Yeah. And now if you want to help your stomach and you can't get rid of what's in it, yeah, it's just stuck, and you jump, it doesn't feel good. So the art will be that you jump as soft as possible. Yeah, you are just there and then nearly, and it's just letting go. Yeah. So, and the ha, you don't throw up because you want to get things down out of your stomach. So you can use your arms to create a stream of relaxation flowing to your body. Yeah. But why do this combine with a jump? Because a jump normally creates tension. Yeah. So when you do this, yeah, you still try to create this tension, a detention in a way. Yeah. A relaxation when you do this. And you will notice this feels extremely good when you manage to do it. And behind this is that in Eurythmy therapy, you invite the lower system, yeah, the metabolic system, to take part in your getting things moving. So by doing it with the legs, things with the legs, you try to bring the basic principle of your arms, invite it to sink into your lower system. And you do not do only these jumps, you do very different things with the legs, you will see. And the specific of our course now is that that's what we discovered in Switzerland, in the mountains, that when you do the zodiac gestures into the R, the H, yeah, there belongs the Gemini gesture. And you will see that it's not just a position, but it's really, you collect certain energies which draw the left and right in, and this brings your heels out, yeah. And you feel strong within. That's the Gemini, and the heart belongs to this. And when you now do this Gemini gesture, and then experience someone else doing the you suddenly touch a dimension. What do they have not in common, but there's a relation. And just to feel this relation, in addition to what you just do with the jumps, creates not only an experience from what you do in eurythmic therapy, but what's carrying, I would say, what's standing behind the world. Yeah, what makes these movements effective. And it is not difficult. You have seen what I've been doing. Yeah, the difficulty is to do it in a way that you feel well. And that's in a way the homework that you then work with 2, 3, 4 suggestions, try this out, and then you share in the groups. What did you discover? You bring it back to us. And that's how we will work. Yeah, supporting you in making discoveries, not becoming a therapist, but to learn more about what lives in you or in all of us. Marie, are you ready to continue?
Hello, everybody. So my name is Marie Davis. I am an anthroposophic psychotherapist and a new eurythmist in the United States. So actually Theodore and I met last spring when I was still living in England because I did my trainings over there. And we found out that we had an interest in the Zodiac together. Because of my Eurythmy training, I had gone back and taken a second look at William Bento's thesis about the different planes of space related to different mental diagnoses. And this course is not about mental diagnoses, and that's very, very important for me. But this was where Theodore and I made a connection, and the beginnings of this course began. And I think for me, what's happened in the development of this course and really working with, again, an approach to the Zodiac, both looking at social and antisocial forces, what are the strengths and imbalances that the different zodiacal beings give to us, or that we can fall into ourselves. And then also, how does this play into the times that we're living in these very turbulent times? And so often on a path of self-development, we can find that we have difficult people that show up in our lives. And so, again, how do we start to work with that? Because of course we know that we all have a part, we all carry our own difficulties. And so how do we start to work with social dynamics and social relationships in the social sphere in a way that's healthy and productive for everybody? Because I think, another thing that really lives with me with what Steiner says is we're living in a time of half-truths. And so how do we really come to a place of discerning the truth? And so I think, again, also in developing this course, the course is not meant to give any answers, diagnoses. We're not looking to characterize anyone. I think for me, this is really a path of self-development, that these are different. We're offering a set of tools and a set of ways of inquiring that can help us navigate these really challenging times. And so one other thing that I'll just say, and I think this is, for me, kind of embodies the spirit of the course, is I think that there's a way that one of the gifts that anthroposophy brings us, especially because we live in such a materialistic age, that very profound things we take for granted. So, for example, right, when we look at these different planes of space, right, when we stand upright, right, we have these 3 different planes of space that we inhabit. And yet we never think about this. We take it for granted. And actually, Steiner says it's healthy. We should forget this. But what happens, and it's interesting because even with traditional psychotherapy, I'm trained in a body-centered method. We look at different postures or gestures that people would have, where people would they would lose their uprightness. So you could see they're carrying this heaviness, or you can see they're kind of way too high. So how can the insights of anthroposophy help us understand this? But also in terms of self-knowledge, what happens when I have these orientations, and how do I find my balance again? And in working with Theodore with the course, he had this wonderful picture of, the zodiac, right, is embracing us. And that when we can really access the fullness of the zodiac as a whole, we can help to find this balance. And some of it is where am I off balance? Am I leaning too far into the front space? Am I too far back? Do I find myself up? And what does this mean? How does it relate to different zodiacal gestures and different zodiac signs? So that's just a very beginning taste of sort of the questions and directions we'll go. We'll be exploring, like I just said, the different planes of space. And then we'll also be working with the different zodiacal gestures. So looking at, so again, we've got a little bit in the introduction. So we have the frontal plane, right? So that divides the front and the back. And so this is, you could say, the plane of the will, because when we want to move into the world, we come this way, right? We start to move forward. And when we pull away from the world, we might pull back. So we'll be looking at, in the zodiac, all of the cardinal signs are connected to the frontal plane because cardinal is connected to the will. And so we'll be exploring what happens when maybe with the different zodiacal signs, they have a tendency to kind of have maybe more of a forward orientation or more of a backwards orientation, or maybe they get stuck in the middle. They're kind of afraid to go to both. Or it could also be that I'm not actually getting information from a particular plane because I'm cut off from that. And so how does all of that affect us? How does it affect our perception? How does it affect our perception of ourselves, our ability to gather sensory information? So then we have the horizontal plane, right? And so we know from Steiner, right, this is the encircling round. So this is the realm of the feelings. And we can even see that the horizontal is going to be between top and bottom. And then the last one is the sagittal plane, which divides then our left and our right. So the horizontal plane, which is a little paradoxical, but that's what's so wonderful about mystery wisdom. This is actually the feeling realm. And it's connected to the fixed signs, whereas the sagittal is connected to the realm of thinking, which is very interesting because, right, so we have sympathy and antipathy.
And what Marie just said is that these planes, and now how do this, each zodiac signs is in another plane and has another attitude in this plane, yeah? In this deviation, we will look at, and you take this with you during the week. How do you discover it in yourself? How do you discover it in others? And what can be done that it by somehow finds its
balance?
Thanks, Marie.
This is the course 12 moods. This course is in German because Rudolf Steiner gave the texts in German for the 12 moods. We worked on the translations into English to make them as clear as Steiner text. And now Theodor is showing the website of the course in German and in English. You can see the videos and you can find those 12 little videos in the introduction to the course. And they are really very small, like 50 seconds, 1 minute. And we tried to show that how each zodiac gesture is flowing from the previous zodiac gesture. And every of the 12 moods, Rudolf Steiner wrote some small texts, Libra. The words are sustaining words. and being perceives its within being. Oh, sorry, not Libra, Virgo. The Virgo is a huge spiritual being, like all of the zodiacs. And for every zodiac, we developed their forms. We will do all the forms on the 7-pointed star. And for example, the Virgo form is just a lobe. Very easy, very simple. Just to go inside and out. And if we do this form, very simple form, then at the end you can see that it is rather a complicated form, but so beautiful. This text I already began quoting. The words are sustaining words, and being perceives itself within being. And you can see that the form is different as Virgo's, and Virgo's text was, behold the words, O soul. Let the soul take hold of words, and so on. And the idea is that we come together. Theodore will explain the consonant, will show the gesture of the zodiac, and also the planetary gesture, because each of those Steiner texts, each line of the text is connected with some planet. And we will do these easy forms with the planet that is that belongs to each line. And it would be interesting to discover how differently it is to connect ourselves with the form when we do the planetary gesture. And then during the week, we will go out into the nature and we will try to discover these planetary forces and zodiac forces in the nature and make photos or make the pictures and send them in the common forum. We'll share them. And the participants who are eurythmists, they can surely show also what eurythmically they noticed during this week. And now Matthias, he will also speak German. The next course in drawing the zodiac. This course will be very different than Eurythmy. The symbols of the zodiac. Earlier, Matthias thought that the signs of the zodiac are just for us to spare some time or maybe place on the paper so that we don't need to write with the words which zodiac it is. But later on, he did a biographical course. And there he got to know that the signs for the zodiac, the symbols for the zodiac signs, they are really connected to the qualities of some zodiac. And we will begin drawing like that, that first we do a circle or an ellipsis. And while circling, we will try to fill this round space. And we try to do it like that it is round. But how do I do a circle? How do I do it in such a way that it is perfectly round? What do I need to do to make it round, to make it filled and to feel well about this roundness? And this is as if a cosmos, a big cosmos. And what do I take with me from cosmos? I can take some movement, some zodiac movement. I come from one point and make a movement, then I go on circling around and make another movement. And this is the first form. We normally begin with Aries, and it is Aries. It is the beginning of spring, and we can also do it in the other direction, circle it in the other direction so that it grows from beneath. And there are surely 12 drawings, like 12 zodiac signs. And the rhythms, the dynamics, or how quickly we draw, it is different. And I'm doing it since, I have been doing it since 23 years. And I still continue discovering a lot. And how is our body connected with the zodiac? For example, that my head is connected with the Aries, and my feet are connected with the Pisces. And when I draw the zodiac and I know how it is connected to my body, I bring my body into balance. And we also can help ourselves to move something in our destiny while drawing zodiac signs. There are a lot of fields where we can use drawings, the zodiac drawings. Each meeting we will draw 2 zodiac signs, and it is rather quickly, because 23 years ago when I started, it was like 1 year long for the 12 zodiac signs, and now within one meeting 2 signs, it is quite a quick path. And I also have the ideas that maybe during the 12 holy nights we can meet again and draw together. Thank you, Matthias. Matthias is in Estland, Marie in the USA, Christiane in South Africa, Theodore in Switzerland, and now Kanchi, Sri Lanka.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kanchi from Sri Lanka, and our course is the beginner course for the Zodiac, which will be led by myself, Anastasia, and Christiana. We spent 2 weeks developing this course in Switzerland where I had muesli for breakfast every single day. But born of this is something very special. And this course is called The Power Behind Your Name. It's almost a wake-up call, an invitation for you to look a little deeper at this small group of sounds that you turn your head to, that you respond to on an everyday basis. So we invite you to wonder, where do these sounds come from? Do they have certain qualities and bring certain vibrations into our lives? In ancient Indian practice, which they also follow now, quite a significant portion of the population, is to name a person based on the precise time that they were born and the particular position of the planets, and you are named with the corresponding sound. And this is believed to help you reach the full potential of your destiny, to help you meet your destiny with ease and without any obstacle. So I wonder, if our names were different, would we have a different destiny? Would we meet life in a different way? And what are these forces that we respond to? And we are all so different. We have different personalities, strengths, imperfections, the different realm of feelings that we have. These are all aspects of gifts that are bestowed upon us by the zodiac when we come down to earth in this form. So in this course, you will be acquainted with the influence that the zodiac has upon the creation of our body parts, the forming of our body parts, in the development of the 12 senses, the virtues of mankind like devotion, patience, courage, the world views, realism, materialism. And of course, we will move eurythmy. We will move the consonants and the gestures of the zodiac, the colors, and definitely, of course, our names. And so through this course, we can see how the zodiac works in so many different ways on the life of the human being. So I invite you to come and think of it as a chance to look up into the heavens and perhaps come to a closer understanding of ourselves while we seek to understand where we came from and what we have come from.